Hey there, welcome back to Manotick StringWorks. Glad to have you here. So on the bench today, right behind me here, I've got a nice 2011 Fender Stratocaster, and the client has dropped off and asked me if I can put some new pickups. So here they are right here, some Custom Shop pickups, 69s, 3 single coils. Of course we're going to need a new pickguard because on this guitar it's an HSS setup, so there's a humbucker and 2 single coils. So we'll have to change all that. So, glad to have you along. Please remember to like and subscribe for more videos, and let's get started. So like I mentioned, we're going to switch out these pickups. So it's an HSS configuration now. We're going to change it to Custom Shop 69, so 3 single coils. So we're going to start with undoing all the screws, and the client really likes his setup. Just put on some new strings, so I'll just try and loosen these up enough so we can get the pick guard and everything out of there. So let's see how that goes. We'll start off by taking out the jack. Always have a little container handy, of course. I like to go around and loosen the screws a little bit. It's all factory, it's never been touched before. And then I'll take the power driver and then I'll get all these screws up. Alright, I'll keep doing this and we'll speed this one up for you guys. Okay, now I've got all the pickups loose, and I can't really slide this out of there. So what I'm going to try and do is loosen everything up and then put this block of wood under to lift the string. So let's see how that works. Alright, so let's turn this around. And now that I've got the strings loose, they're still attached at the post. Let's put a block of wood under here. Trying to raise those strings up. See if we can get that pick guard. Oh, I think it's gonna work. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Oh. Alright. Okay. Got some springs. So that was for the humbucker. Should be another one here. There we go. Alright, so let's get this set up to get these pickups disconnected, clean things up, and get the new pickups mounted. Just going to take a piece of tape here, this low tack painter's tape. Just get these strings out of the way a bit. There we go, that's a little better. Okay. I like to try and cover everything as much as we can before we look at it. So what do we got? So we have the neck, here's the middle pickup, there's the humbucker at the bridge. So we're going to disconnect these wires. Take note of where everything is, and then we'll get the new pickups mounted into the pickguard, the new pickguard. Well, it's like they've got these wrapped around there, so you know what? I'm just going to snip it off, right? It's easier to clean off what's left. There we go. And we'll snip off this single coil as well. We'll get up here and do the same thing. There we go. Fender. That's 34. Or is that a 3H? Not sure. Alright. Okay, the pickups are out. I'm going to take this jack plate and the output jack off. So the client had told me that the output jack, one of the leads, the hot or the ground had come off. So we will be changing that anyways. Perfect. I'll snip this off too. We'll clean it up. And the only thing left, attaching this to the guitar, we've got the ground wire to the bridge, which is here, and then we have the shielding ground right in here. So we'll get those off too. Alright, so next step is to remove the volume and tone knobs from this pickguard. Alright, so here's the new pickguard. Fender genuine parts. Of course, now we're 3 single coil pickups, right? We had a humbucker before. Okay. Alright, so here's the fun part, right? We get to peel off the plastic. Again, don't like installing it with the plastic on. Obviously it gets stuck under all the screws and the bolts. There we go. It's a pickguard. It's meant to get scratched up and dinged, and if it does, it's a Fender. You can replace it. Alright. So, since we have our controls all in the position they're supposed to go, we can just drop this over and put them back in. Okay, flip it over, and just to make sure the orientation looks the way it should be, right? So here's our master volume, and then our two tones facing each other like that. And there are no wires underneath the pots. That's good. So when you flip it back over, just hold it underneath. Because we have that locking washer, it should hold it pretty well without spinning. So you can still hold the pot, right? Just hold it. Prevent it from spinning. That looks good. Alright, next step, we'll mount the pickups. So here we are, Fender Custom Shop Custom 69s. Three single coils. They should be all the same. Nothing different about them. And we've got some new hardware too, which is nice. We'll use that. And we have a wiring diagram. So I'm going to check out this wiring diagram and see if it's what's already on, already been wired, and make sure everything matches. So working with these vintage 69s, I noticed that the hole that the screws, the mounting screws go in, it's not pierced through, and I'll show you one here. You can see that it still has some material, you know, whatever this, it's not metal, it's like press board, masonite almost. So the screw, if you try and put the screw through, it doesn't work. So you need to take an awl or something like this and just sort of open up the hole a little bit. Not oversized, just, you know, poke it through, and then the little pieces will fall through. Then what I did is I started the screw to create a thread, right? Because doing that while it's on the pickguard would be almost impossible. So it's going to create its own thread this way. There we go. Then we'll be able to get it on the pickguard straight. Alright, so once you have your screws threaded into the base of the pickup. Take your cover, put it on, make sure it all lines up. A little bit of wax there. So we're going to put this, so that's where it's going to go, obviously. Before we do that, we put screws through. This being a Fender, we need to put these little rubber bushings here. That's what gives us our pickup height adjustment, right? So I like to push them down as far down as they'll go. Get as much screw showing, that's good. And you're going to put the pickup cover through the slot, hold everything, and then start the screws. And that's why you need to thread that pickup plate a little bit beforehand, otherwise you'll never be able to get this on. So I just want to get it on there so it's snug, it's holding, it's about even. Alright, one more to do. Alright, so we're going to do a setup after all on the guitar. Spoke with the client, so I'll just go through steps. So we're going to check the neck relief. I like to see 12 thousandths at the 7th fret, between 10 and 12, so let's check it out here. And you can hear that, it's a little tight. Let's try the 10. Yeah, so we're going to need to loosen that off a little bit. So let's have a look. So Fender uses a 1/8 hex wrench right up here. The headstock, right? Pardon the camera work. So we're going to loosen that up. So again, we don't have to do anything with the strings when we're loosening. If we were tightening it, I would definitely want to loosen the strings. So let's see here. Oh, it's a little stiff. Okay, that moved. So let's try 12 again. Oh yeah, that's better. It's just kissing it. It's good. Now if I put the 10 under there, yeah, it's not really touching it, so that's pretty good. I think we'll leave it like that and then check it again after we do the rest of the setup a little later. Now, string height on a Strat, Fender recommends 4/64 at the 17th fret. So I've got my 4/64 little gauge. So just to see, if I take the 5/64, let's see if that will fit under there. I can hear that it's hitting the string. Probably lower the E string. So we'll take the 4 now. Just touching. Just touching. Slides under. Touching. Touching. Slides under. So it's pretty low, the action already, but I think we can adjust a couple of the strings up just a touch, like there. So the B string is a little low. The D string as well, and the A. So let's get those sorted out a little bit. So for these saddle screws, use 3/64. So we're gonna, so that E string's good. B string's a touch low. Let's raise that a touch. That's good. Again, we want the saddles to be even too, right? We don't want them to go up and down. That's nice. And maybe up a little bit. Just a quarter turn. I have a little mark on the end here, so when you put it in, you note where that is, and then you can turn a quarter, you can turn a half, 3/4, all the way around. Easy to see that way. That's good. Probably raise up the A string, again just a touch, quarter turn at the most. Just touching. And the E string is actually a little high. I'm actually going to lower it. Well, there's not much room to go here. We're pretty much right at the deck on the saddle, so that's fine. It's touching still, so that's good. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, we're out of tune. So let's tune it up and then we'll give it a little check. Alright, so we've done the neck relief, we've done the string height. Now we're going to check the intonation. So at the 12th fret, we're going to play the open string, we're going to play the harmonic, and then we're going to play the octave at the 12th, right? So let's see if we're in tune. It's pretty good. Now, intonation is a relative thing as well, so it's never going to be perfect on these guitars. But we want to get it close so it's not crazy out, right? Alright, so let's try first string. So there's the open note, there's the harmonic, good. That's pretty good. I wouldn't change that. So we're a little flat here on the tuning. We're going to sharpen that up a bit. And you can see it's a little sharp, right? So I think we'll adjust the B string. Alright, let's see what we've done with the B string here. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, I'll continue along with the strings. Alright, intonation is done, looking good. So the last thing to check here is the pickup height. So I like to use 1/8 on the bass side, 3/32 on the treble side. So that needs to be lowered, lowered. Alright, last thing to check would be the action at the first fret, the nut action. I can already tell it's low. But let's, so, you know, guitars at the high end, 22 thousandths. That's not getting under there. Let's try 18 is usually like the lowest I like to see it. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see, maybe 12? It's starting to scrape under there. Let's try 10 thousandths. Yeah. So, it's not a big deal if it doesn't buzz, right? So if we hit an open string, I'm plucking pretty hard on the E string. If I really pluck hard, you can hear it, right? But just normal plucking should be fine. I mean, I'll let the client know that the nut probably will need to be changed, you know, depending on how much he plays in the next 6 to 12 months. It's just wear from the strings going, you know, being played, being tuned, being changed, that kind of thing. And it might have been pretty low already from the factory. But other than that, we're done.